Hello and welcome to another Fire to Fork cooking episode. Again in the backyard. Now, very heavily requested desserts. A lot of people have a sweet tooth out there, so let's satisfy those sweet cravings. Today we are going to make some warm apple pie. So let's address the apple elephant in the room. Yeah, apples. Now, there's a very, very tricky technique to cutting and dicing apples perfectly. What it involves is you need to line the apples up exactly 20 millimeters apart. I'm very good at this. I know that's 20 millimeters. Then, with the back of the knife, you hit them really hard at exactly a 42-degree angle. So, as you can see, if you hit them hard enough, it will obliterate everything. After the pulverization, just chuck all that stuff in there. This is juice from 1/3 of a lemon. Give that a stir. And that's important, you have to lose at least one. Then we add some butter. Oh, well thrown, Fred. So we need 100 grams of butter. So it should tell you each 25 grams. Some of them added up for you, but some of them you have to do your own head maths. Very difficult. Sorry, I should probably mention, this recipe that you've got down below is for 3 apples. I lost one of my apples. I don't know what happened to it. I'm doing 1/3 of the recipe. That's why my butter's a little bit less. All right, so while we're waiting for that to go down, just grab yourself 1/4 cup of brown sugar, then a good slog of salt in there. Then just give him a little bit of a stir. And we basically want to keep this going until the apples get soft. So, you know, put a fork through them easily. Just remembered, I forgot cinnamon. So, just a little pinch. Give them a stir and just keep this going. All right, so that's ready to come off. What we did actually record, but without turning the audio gear on, is we put a little bit of rum in there. Adds a really nice flavour. Use whatever rum you like. If you like Bundy, use that. If you like spiced rum, use spiced rum. Don't add heaps because you don't want too much liquid, and you don't actually want booze. It doesn't taste good in there, so don't add a whole bunch that you were planning to drink that night. That smells incredible. It smells like caramel. It's this beautiful kind of molassesy texture. It's so good. Grab your humble jaffle iron. This one is missing a piece. It's held together with a bit of wire. It's a total piece of crap. I didn't throw it out because jaffle irons are nearly indestructible. Grab this guy, chuck him on the fire, get him nice and warm. Get that guy off there. Don't do this if you don't have a metal table. And then I chuck a whole bunch of butter on here. Don't be shy with the butter because butter is a key ingredient of the next ingredient, which is puff pastry. Then what I like to do is keep it simple. Just flip it over, give it a roll. Make sure everything's fully coated, but do it over the fire so you don't spray everything with butter. And that is a well-coated jaffle iron. Next step is some puff pastry. Now I bought 2 brands of puff pastry. One of them is gluten-free and one of them is good. So I'm gonna have the good one. Fiddly little buggers to get out. There we go. On your normal jaffle irons, this thing will actually perfectly work out to be 2 jaffles. You don't even have to cut it. So what we're gonna do is take a scoop of this, chuck him in there. Same on the other side. Awesome. Then, see, you drape these fellas straight back over and no cutting required. Just make sure you pinch them around the edges. All right, chuck him on there. If you've ever cooked a jaffle before, you'll know how long that takes. Puff pastry probably takes 30 or 40% longer than normal bread. So just allow for that. Okay, so this guy is done. I know because I checked it. I would say that there's like an easy way to tell, like, oh, the edges are blackening or something, but there's not. You just have to check it every sort of 5 minutes. If you try and open it and it sticks and doesn't open, it's not ready. Especially with puff pastry. Puff pastry is full of butter, so butter will emit from it once it's cooked. Therefore, it will not stick. So, this is what it should look like. One thing I didn't mention earlier is actually don't overfill these guys, because if you overfill them, they spill everywhere, they don't seal properly, and then all the sticky stuff gets in around the edges and they stick to your jaffle iron. It's no bloody good. That puff pastry belongs in the freezer. If you don't have a freezer, it will last in your fridge, but try and use it up over the next couple of days. The next ingredient does not belong in your fridge. That was terrible. And that's ice cream. I have a freezer in my camping setup, therefore this is realistic. If you don't have a freezer in your camping setup, I get that, fair enough, but you should totally look into one. Custard, cream, whatever, they'll work. Or just on its own, they're really good on their own. Oh, so hard. Put it by the fire for a bit. Let that out for a little bit. It's a little bit softer. Bit of that there. Bit more, because, you know, it's ice cream. It's delicious. Now, oh, it smells amazing. Oh, so hot. That is so good. That is ridiculously good. Wow. Now you notice I made 2, and the other one's definitely not for Sam because she can't eat gluten. So I'm passing over the fence to the neighbours. Oh, that's so good. Anyway, try it at home. Try it next time you're camping, whatever you need to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Oh.